Hey guys, it's the Dutch Master and welcome to this brand new The Sims 4 speed build. So today I'm back with another house in The Sims 4 and this time I'm building a tiny house, which means that it's just a very simple, compact house. I must say it turned out to be bigger from the exterior than I'd planned at first, but that's because I decided to make it very tall, or at least to create this two-level height, which normally a tiny house doesn't really have. Tiny houses are meant to be as small as possible, but still, as you can see, with the bedroom being very small, I tried to create a tiny house. It turned out to be really cool, but I wanted to do it a little bit different and a little bit good looking, or at least more good looking than most actual tiny houses, because often, you know, it's a trend and I get where they're going, and you have a lot more freedom if you create a tiny house, because you can often design them yourself and maybe even build them yourself. You can sometimes place them in places where an actual house wouldn't or it wouldn't be possible to place an actual house. Maybe the land is too expensive there, and then through a tiny house you are able to buy more expensive land because a house is cheaper because it's smaller. Yeah, for this one I thought, you know, it was suggested and I felt it was like actually a really good idea. So I thought, you know, I'm just gonna get started and build a tiny house, and that's exactly what I did. This house is available to download from the gallery. Look for gallery ID Dutch Sims Master, and then you're able to put this tiny house into your own game. But yeah, in the end, I think it turned out to be cool. As you can see, it's got some split level going, but still it's very simple and very small from the interior, and also from the exterior it looks pretty small, but still it also looks like it looks sort of like a big house, but then the small version of it, which is sort of interesting. And yeah, you know, it sort of looks big, but it's small from the inside. I'm not sure whether that's a positive thing or not, but yeah, if you would like me to create more tiny houses, then please let me know, because I personally found it very interesting to create this one. Also because you can do a little bit different things with the interior in this way, or at least you can be a little bit more creative. And it's not like I tried to create the smallest house possible, because that could have been a lot smaller, but I just wanted to create a tiny house which looks cool, and I think in the end that definitely worked out. And yeah, it just looks cool. Recently I read somewhere an article, I believe it was in the newspaper, that tiny houses are the future and very many people are moving into them, or at least here in the Netherlands many people are. By the way, I'm recording this like 5 weeks before this video is online, because I've been pre-recording a lot, so maybe this is old news. Probably it definitely is, because I'm sure it's like 5 weeks old or 4. Yeah, still the clue of the article was that many more people are moving into tiny houses, and that is the future. And yeah, on the one hand I get it, on the other hand I think it's sort of a trend as well. If you live in the tiny house, maybe I've got viewers living in a tiny house, then please let me know. Let me know what the positive thing about it is. If you've ever visited one, also let me know. If you know anything more about it, let me know, because I honestly don't know that much about tiny houses. And yeah, I'm interested in hearing from you what the positive things about it are. I personally do like space, but I like the way that when you build a tinier house you can spend more money on details, more money on materials. You can also make the house much more environmentally friendly, which I realize right now I've not really focused on with this house. Maybe I should have added like a windmill or something like that, but I didn't. Maybe for the next one I'm going. Yeah, actually that's a really good idea. I think for the next house I'll create like a very eco-friendly small tiny house, I guess. Just a tiny house, not a small tiny house, because that's sort of double. But I believe there's like an eco stuff pack coming up sometime soon, or at least that was voted, because nowadays you can vote on packs, or sometimes you can vote on packs, and then also what it should have in the packs. And I believe the eco stuff pack won, and there's also laundry coming with it, or at least that's the plan. I'm not sure when it will come up, but once that's out, I think I'll build like an eco tiny house, and maybe before then already. But if you've got any suggestions for tiny houses or things I can do with them, please let me know. But as you can see, it doesn't necessarily really look tiny, and maybe for the next time I should try to make it look tinier, but still I think it's really cool because the garden also turned out to be nice. And yeah, it was just fun to build. I actually watched Suits while working on this. I've almost finished it. I'm at season 5 right now, and seriously, that series, I don't know what it is, because if you think about it, it's often the same. If you watch Suits, you'll probably recognize that, and you'll probably like it as well. But I don't know. Suits is just a really cool series to watch, and yeah, recently some crazy stuff has been going on. I'm not gonna spoil anything. Don't worry, because I personally also hate spoilers. But normally I don't really watch series because I prefer to be like sort of productive. That's really how I am. I just want to be productive, create a video or do something else. But in this way I could actually create a video and also at the same time watch some episodes. Often I also watch it without actually doing something at the same time. But this time, because I wanted to finish season 5 before I'm going on a holiday, I sort of had to rush through it, and also I just wanted to have some entertainment while building because that was just fun. But yeah, it's just such a cool series, because if you watch that series you immediately want to become a lawyer, not a lawyer or an attorney or whatever. But then if you think about it, it's not like the most realistic visual or the most realistic portrait of like a lawyer, I guess, or the life of a lawyer, because simply it's, you know, this is like the top of the bill, and the 0.01% of the lawyers. I can't pronounce it. Normally I can pronounce it. Right now I'm saying liar, which is, yeah, in the case of Suits, sort of true because he's a fraud. But yeah, I guess I'll just move on to talking about the build again, because I probably have a little bit more knowledge about that. So yeah, here I try to go for some colorful furniture, because I felt, you know, the build is like wood and not very modern, so therefore I didn't decide to add modern furniture, but I thought it would be cool to add some color because it's only wood and otherwise it would be boring. Often also with tiny houses, a little bit more creative people tend to live in them, also because they design them themselves sometimes, and they, you know, or artistic people maybe, and they prefer to have some more colorful furniture, or at least that's the way I imagined it. Of course it's a stereotype, but hey, that's the way I decided to or the way I went to build this thing. Okay, this is not a sentence. What did I want to say? That's the way I did it, I guess. That's the way I wanted to say it. The pool, I filled it with leaves or whatever, because I never used that one, and I felt like if I ever want to use it, then I should use it in this one, because a regular pool also didn't really feel appropriate, or at least would feel a little bit strange with a special house like this one. And the fun thing is that the interior, is it done by now already? I believe I've done the interior for the most part already, because I first wanted to make sure that everything would fit before I actually start creating the garden, because if it would have to make it bigger or smaller for some reason, then it would sort of suck if you have to do the garden again. But yeah, I personally think this was sort of an interesting build, and the tiny houses, yeah, whether they have a future, please let me know what you think. What do you think of tiny houses? Do you prefer like a regular house or a big house? Or do you think tiny houses do really have something special? Probably on Airbnb there's a lot of tiny houses which you could visit. Maybe I should try that someday. But yeah, I'm just finishing it off. Also the garden, I decided to add some colorful plants. And then here I'm just finishing the interior a little bit, because I still had to, you know, do some wall painting. And then that's basically it. So let me know what you thought of it. Also, don't forget that I've got an Instagram account as well, which you can follow. It's at DutchSims4Master, and then you stay up to date with everything I do. And also, I've been traveling the past couple of weeks, or at least by the time I'm recording this, I'm leaving like in a couple of days, but by the time you're watching this, I'm almost back already, which is sort of strange. But yeah, just check that out. It would be cool. I especially for the interior, I especially like that bed area, because I think it's really cool that you have to go up the stairs to go to your bed, and then the walk-in closet. It just worked out very well. I hope Sims can enter the bed from behind, but I believe they can. But anyways, this is the end of the video. Don't forget there's still an overview in a couple of seconds, and then I hope to see you back later.
about the trees and the seas, how it's all connected. The flowers and the birds and bees, the northern lights, yeah, we're all